Do you ever wonder why a small handful of runners always seem to smash personal records and make it look easy? It's not just good genetics or fancy shoes, it comes down to 7 simple habits that give them an edge, and today we're spilling those secrets. Whether you're aiming for a 5K or a marathon, these 7 habits of elite and top amateur runners can transform your training and racing. Stick with me until the end because even one of these changes can make a huge difference in how you train, race and recover. Top 1% runners never wing it. They set clear goals and they follow a plan. Rather than entering random races or doing whatever workout they feel like, they map out their training months in advance. For example, an elite runner will choose a few key races to peak for each year and tailor their training towards those specific goals. They know they can't be on it all the time, but trying to race your best every other weekend is a recipe for burnout. Instead, top runners periodize their training, building base mileage, adding intensity in phases and tapering before goal races. Every weekend workout has a purpose in the bigger picture. A top runner treats their training schedule like a roadmap to success, complete with rest stops and detours as needed. By having both outcome goals like a target race time and process goals like sticking to a weekly mileage or a strength routine, they stay focused and motivated. If you're not sure how to put that structure together, that's what my ProCoach training plans are designed for. So they give you a roadmap so that you can train with the same purpose as the top 1%. So just click the link in the description to learn more. But the takeaway point here is to decide what you want to achieve, make a plan and stick to it. It's not rocket science, it's just a good habit. Being in the top 1% isn't about one superhuman workout, it's about showing up day after day. Elite runners are incredibly consistent. They run regularly, often 6 or 7 days a week, with smart rest incorporated, making training as routine as brushing their teeth. As the coach Joe Rubio famously said, the best way to get better at anything is by doing it consistently. It sounds simple, and it is, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Top runners build their life around their training schedule, or at least make it a non-negotiable part of the day. Rain at 6 AM, they're still out there logging miles while others have hit the snooze button. Consistency also means things add up, like a core workout here or a stretching session there, every day doing the small habits that prevent injury and improve fitness. It's not that they never take days off, they do, but it's just that they don't skip training just because they don't feel like it. By eliminating excuses and showing up regularly, they build a huge aerobic base and mental toughness that the other 99% lack. Consistency is boring, yes, but it's also the secret sauce behind nearly every great runner. Top runners know when to run hard and when to run easy. Unlike many recreational runners who do every run at a moderate one-speed-fits-all effort, elite runners follow a balanced intensity distribution. In fact, many follow the classic 80-20 rule, where about 80% of their training is easy at conversational pace and 20% is harder workouts. Even at the peak of ultramarathon training, a champion like Kilian Jornet runs roughly 77% of his training miles at a low aerobic intensity. The top 1% aren't out there redlining every run, they spend most of their miles comfortably building an engine and only a few miles pushing the red zone. In practice, this means their easy runs are truly easy, sometimes so slow you'd be shocked. They have the confidence to jog at a snail's pace on recovery days because they know it's helping them bounce back stronger. Conversely, when a hard workout is on the schedule, they attack it with a purpose and they run hard. This polarization of training, really easy versus really hard, is incredibly effective. Studies and coaching experience show that controlling intensity leads to better endurance gains and less burnout. The Ingebrigtsen brothers, for example, became world-class by mastering intensity control, sticking to prescribed paces and avoiding the temptation constantly to push harder than necessary. In short, top runners train smart, not just hard. They don't equate suffering 24/7 with success. Instead, they follow a plan, which is hard days hard, easy days easy, and almost no days in that kind of mediocre grey zone. The rest of us often run too hard on easy days and too easy on hard days. Fixing that habit, like the elites do, can unlock huge improvements. Doing the same thing every day leads to a plateau. Top runners embrace variety in training, and they aren't one-speed wonders. In a given week, an elite might do a track interval session, a tempo run, a long run, some easy recovery runs, maybe some hill repeats, and even some form drills. This mix of workouts develops different strengths: speed, stamina, endurance, running economy. Less successful runners often stick to what's comfortable, for instance jogging the same 5-kilometre loop at the same pace every other day. Meanwhile, the 1% habitually step out of their comfort zone to spur growth. A lack of variety in your weekly routine will eventually lead to a physical and mental plateau, whereas introducing new stimuli like intervals or hill sessions adds a fun element and accelerates fitness gains. Variety also keeps training fresh and fun. It prevents burnout and even reduces injury risk. By mixing up terrain and intensity, you avoid overstressing the exact same areas of muscle and tendon every day. Top runners might hit the trails one day for a hilly run, which is great for building strength and agility, and then hit the track another day for speed, which is great for efficiency. They might cycle or swim occasionally for cross-training, and every week has structure but is far from monotonous. For the top 1%, every mile has a purpose. There are no junk miles done out of habit. If it's an easy run, the purpose is recovery and aerobic base. If it's a hard run, the purpose is a specific adaptation like lactate threshold or VO2 max. This intentional variety is a habit that leaves them fitter and faster over time. So if you want to emulate them, don't run the same pace every time out, mix it up. Here's a habit that many mid-pack runners ignore. The top 1% take recovery as seriously as training. It might sound counterintuitive, but the improvement happens between workouts when your body rebuilds. Elite runners know that if you don't recover well, all those hard workouts won't translate into better performance. So they sleep a lot, nap when needed, foam roll, stretch, eat well, and generally respect their downtime. In fact, elite athletes are encouraged to get at least 9 hours of sleep nightly and treat sleep with as much importance as their training and diet, because that's when muscle repair, growth, and hormonal recovery happen. Rest days are not viewed as a sign of weakness, but as a strategy. As one coach put it, you're not as good as the workouts you do, you're only as good as you recover from the workouts you do. Elite runners live by this. They schedule recovery weeks, easy days, and cut mileage when needed to absorb training gains. They also listen to their bodies. If a niggle or a deep fatigue is setting in, they'll back off before it becomes an injury. Contrast that with many runners who brag about being too tough to rest and then wonder why they keep getting injured or stagnating. The top 1% have the discipline to push hard and the wisdom to back off and recharge. So if you want to run like they do, don't skip on sleep or recovery routines. Consider recovery as part of your training plan, because for the best runners, it absolutely is. You can't out-train a bad diet, and top runners know this. One habit of the elite is treating food as fuel for performance. That doesn't mean that they never enjoy cake or a beer, but day in, day out, they pay attention to nutrition and hydration. The top 1% ensure that they're getting enough calories, because undereating can derail their training, with an emphasis on quality carbs for energy, protein for muscle repair, and plenty of vitamins and minerals from veggies and fruits. For example, they time their meals around workouts, carbohydrates before a run to top off energy stores, and a combination of protein and carbohydrates afterwards to help rebuild muscles and replenish lost glycogen. Hydration is another part of this habit. Elite runners are seldom dehydrated. They drink water regularly, use sports drinks or electrolytes on long runs, and start races well hydrated. Many top marathoners practice fueling and drinking during training so that their stomach can handle gels or sports drinks on race day. All of this is habitual for the top 1%, not an afterthought. Sadly, many recreational runners either neglect nutrition by skipping breakfast or not refueling after their runs, or they go to the other extreme of treating every run as an excuse to eat junk food. Elite runners find a balance, and they match their intake to their training needs. One striking example: New York Marathon winner Shalane Flanagan struggled with repeated stress fractures early in her career, until she overhauled her nutrition to ensure she was eating enough for her training. And soon after that, she reached new performance heights. In short, eating like a champion helps you train and race like one. The habit here isn't a fad diet or a special supplement, it's simply paying attention to fueling consistently. They keep healthy snacks on hand, plan meals, and stay on top of their nutrition. If you adopt even a bit of this mindful fueling, your body will perform better and recover. Finally, one of the hallmark habits of the top 1% is smart race execution. All the training in the world can be squandered by poor race day habits. Elite and top runners approach races with a strategy, especially when it comes to pacing and tactics. One common trait: they avoid the rookie mistake of starting too fast. How many times have you, or runners you know, bolted off the start line in excitement only to hit the wall and slog to the finish? Most top runners learn to tame that urge. They start at the right pace for their fitness and goal, even if that means letting others get ahead early. Many elite runners are masters of the negative split, running the second half of a race faster than the first. For example, in the 2022 Chicago Marathon, Emily Sisson ran a carefully paced race, speeding up in the second half to set a US record of 2:18.29. That kind of discipline takes practice. It requires holding back when adrenaline is high and trusting your plan, something new runners struggle with. Meanwhile, less experienced runners often employ what coaches jokingly call the fly and die or hold on for dear life approach, which is start fast and then hang on for as long as possible. This positive split strategy is very common and usually ends in a world of pain and slower times for most runners, myself included. The top 1% also prepare for races with a fueling plan. For longer races, they know at which mile they'll take their gel or sip their water. They study the course, they know where the hills are or where the wind might hit, and they warm up properly to be ready from the gun. Little things like not going out too hard, sticking to a goal pace and adjusting effort based on conditions like hills and heat are second nature to them. These habits make racing almost an art form. The mental toughness is there too. When it starts to hurt, they don't panic, they expected it and they have strategies to push through. The beauty of these 7 habits is that none of them are innate talents. They're all choices and practices that any runner can work on. Sure, talent is a significant factor, but what sets elite runners apart is often doing the simple things extremely well, day after day. I hope you found this video helpful. For more tips, do check out the videos on screen right now, and let me know in the comments section if you think I've missed any elite runner habits. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more running and triathlon content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.